You're listening to Common Ground, the podcast.
Welcome back to Common Ground, the podcast. I'm Mark, joined with Derek and Lou. How are you guys doing today?
Good guys, how you doing?
Good.
You guys,
How's everybody?
enjoyed your 4th of July week?
Oh man, it was awesome. Went down to Tampa, saw some fireworks, got some sun.
Got some
Right.
ladies, got some alcohol.
Oh yeah, Liddy in the city.
What about you, Lou?
All good, man. Basically just hung out with the family, did things of that nature, and enjoyed some barbecue, beer, cigars, the usual.
Nice. Well, I was going to bring a topic up today that I think would be fun to discuss since it's kind of got a lot of heat, a lot of people talking. We had the presidential debate about 2 weeks now, and I think everybody's kind of wondering what's too old. At what point should people realize maybe they shouldn't be in the race, and maybe even consider term limits for other politicians that are out there? And I didn't know if Derek, you had some kind of segue into that because it's definitely something
Yeah,
that we're all concerned about.
yeah, it's definitely a concern. I think once you get to about 80 years old, I guess your cognitive reasoning, it starts to slow down. You aren't, as alert as you used to be. And I think it's a young man's game. I'd say probably 70 to 75 should be the oldest for a person to be in office for president. That's just my take on it. Just for, you got dementia, and then they try to hide it. We don't know what these politicians truly, where they're truly at mentally. Like Mitch McConnell, he was having seizures at one point on
On live
on a
TV.
press conference. Yeah,
Yeah,
on live TV.
yeah,
We didn't know why he just froze for like 10 seconds, and then nobody knew what was going on.
yeah.
So I think Biden, he is probably past his time. Trump still seems to be, pretty apt and alert, but he's old too. I don't understand why we can't get any younger folks to take up the reins.
And Lewis, before I get your view on this, it's interesting because when you go out to certain jobs, right, like, and you think about the presidency or elected officials, how much they have control over our day-to-day lives, right? So you compare that to a nurse, a police officer, a doctor. At some point, when do you become dangerous because your own mental stability, right? Like you wouldn't want a police officer out there that has the same 80 years old and can't do the job because then he might do something that's dangerous. The same thing with a doctor or a medical professional. So why don't they put restrictions like that on the presidency?
Yeah.
And why don't and why not do term limits? I you know an example, since we're talking about him, is Joe Biden. He's been elected for what, 50 years now, since the 60s or early
Yeah.
70s, somewhere in there. Lou, what's your take?
No, I agree with what you're saying because you don't want it to be funny, but like as a citizen, if you're seeing your president like you know, begin to start a sentence and then mumble, or he'll just go in and out of, what he's trying to say. It just doesn't look good, at least in my opinion. A great example is the debate itself. When we saw Trump and Biden actually talking or trying to debate, all it was like he say, "Oh no, you're bad," or "you're mean," or just it was like toddlers at like elementary school. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
Yeah.
it didn't seem professional like it should be, and it's to the point where so many countries are laughing at us now. It's like there's so many, like you were saying, Mark, and there you got so many other candidates that are younger. And my thing is when you want to set a better standard to the next generation of okay, hey, you don't have to be 60 to be president. You can be 40. You can be
Yeah.
30. You know what I'm saying? Like just go up the ranks and do what you have to do to get to that point. But it should be a lot easier. I guess my opinion.
I think it's interesting because I'm probably the political guy of the group. I pay real close attention to a lot of the talking points and the news that's coming out. And I do notice there's a big difference in the Trump from 2020 and the Trump nowadays. The biggest thing in the last 2 weeks is he's been real quiet. And that's not like Trump normally, right? He's normally out there.
Yeah, he's more reserved for sure.
Yeah, he used
Than
to
usually
step
does.
on his own feet and making comments. But I think he learned, or he's at least listening to the people around him and like, hey, the Democrats and Biden have an issue right now. Let that burn and just be quiet and go sit in the golf course somewhere. So that's interesting to see that maybe he's going to be a little bit more tame this time around. Who knows? I'm sure after next week is the RNC convention, so we'll see if that tune changes. But he's definitely laying low while the Democrats try and figure this Biden thing out. So let me ask you a hot take question. Do you guys think Biden should step out and let somebody else run? And Derek, I'll let you answer first.
Well, at this point, I think it's too late for that because I think he's basically the front runner for the Democratic Party. He's already been like, the chosen one, I assume. So, I mean, if they were gonna do it, they should have done it already, and it should have happened. So, I think he should have stepped aside. I mean, just personally, me as an 80-year-old, I'd have been like, you know what? I did what I was gonna do for the country. I'm gonna let somebody else take over and go from there. I mean, I don't need to be 80 and still trying to have a job, especially the job of the running the free world.
To your
It's
point,
just
Derek,
a
I mean
lot, a lot on the plate.
to your point, his 2020 campaign was, I'm running to beat Donald Trump so he doesn't get elected, and so he did that. He accomplished
Right.
that, and now it's like, can he do that again? And a lot of people don't think so. But yeah, Lou, before I wrap up, in my opinion, what's yours? Should he get out or stay in?
So, I don't- personally, I think he should get out. But my thing is it kind of goes back to what you were saying. Like it should be something to where if you're president and you're past a certain age, like by I'm not saying like there should be like a a questionnaire or an exam or something, but there should be something in the clause where it's like if you're starting to see, like you were saying, Derek earlier, like mentally you're not all there, or psychologically, or like you're starting to slip as far as just mental function, etc. Then there should, in my opinion, maybe be something in there to where your vice president not necessarily takes over as president, but like over. I don't. Mark knows more about the politics than I do, but I just think that there should be some kind of clause to help that to help our president succeed, so he doesn't look bad on his end if your age is starting to show. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm kind of with Derek here. I think he needs to ride the course, right? He was selected. He's in the process. Um, I don't think. I think it helps Republicans if he stays in. I don't think it helps Republicans if he gets out. But I don't think it's fair to the people who vote Democrat, who vote for Biden, to say, because basically they took the primary away. They didn't give them a chance to decide if they even wanted Biden, right? They said, no, he's the candidate. You guys have him. And now to come up and say, oh, we're going to pull him, and now we're going to put somebody else in there that you don't get to pick.
yeah, it
So
wouldn't be.
that's kind of not fair either, right? So
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting next couple of days. The press conference just wrapped up as we were starting this video. I got to watch the first few minutes of it, and there's definitely going to be some videos coming out of that point out why he's probably not going to be a good candidate to remain in the race. But guys, any last comments before we wrap up?
Uh, I will say this, Lieutenant Governor Mark Williams, I believe, right? That is an eye opener. I'll say that.
Okay. All right, Derek, if you got nothing else.
I didn't know he was running for 2024.
Hey, he should be vice president for what I'm hearing.
2025. Okay, got it, check.
All right, make sure you guys are
No,
joining the
I don't got anything
conversation.
else.
Awesome. Make sure you guys are joining the conversation. Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Like and share, and check us out in the next video.